Welcome to the Easter edition of the Part-Time Preppers. Today, LCS Resurrection. May sound a little sacrilegious, but stay tuned. We are back. Now, what are we talking about? Well, I have an interesting story to share from the LCS, and if you believe in coincidences or just things that happen, you may want to watch this. It may be a little boring at first, but it has some kickers at the end. So let us start. My mother, I want to say she passed away 9 or 10 years ago, and she was pretty much a humble person. She didn't like to brag. She didn't let people know what she had or that type of stuff. And as a child, she had a cousin. When I was a child, she had a cousin who she stayed close with, a distant cousin. I met her many times, and because my mother had no sisters, she had a brother. And this distant cousin had an uncle that was a judge. And my mother would bring this name up constantly. Judge Panola. Yes, Judge Panola. I never met the man. I heard his name many times. And then later, in my teenage years, she actually had another relative that became a judge. I won't mention his name because it was someone a little closer to home. And then she'd mention both names, Judge Panola and Judge Blank, and she carried them around like a billy club. I mean, she'd something go wrong, she goes, I'm going to have to call Judge Panola. To my recollection, never called Judge Panola. And I was like, who is this Judge Panola? Is he a member of the Supreme Court? I pictured him as this big famous person that I would never meet, nothing, whatever, Judge Panola, Judge Panola, Judge Panola. Even my wife, when we were dating, remembered my mother talking about Judge Panola and the other judge that she was related to. And I actually knew the other judge's daughter. She was a few years ahead of me in high school. Not that we were best friends or anything, but so I knew that person existed for sure. But the mysterious Judge Panola. Well, we're going to get to that right now. So I had to get my watch band repaired. So I went to the local coin store the other day, and this is within the last like 6 or 7 days. But anyway, I went to the local coin store to pick up the watch band. And of course, I had to look at some of the coinage. I was just looking around. I really wasn't going to buy anything. And my coin dealer, she knows I like the odd, the strange silver, foreign silver. Many a time she'll say, "Hey, look what I got in," and she'll hand me something. So once again, I was just browsing around, getting ready to leave. Now, it had been my mother's birthday the day before. And, usually remember your parents' birthday and you think about them for a little bit. And I actually was going to stop on her birthday, but I got tied up at work and it was too late. So I was off the next day. So I went the day after her birthday. And the apparently the transaction, because it was in the early afternoon, had happened in the morning. And my dealer said, I got something strange you might want to look at. And she handed it to me just like this. And I was like, what the heck's in there? It was like this paper's falling apart. So I took it out, and in my hand is a round. As the phone rings, but that's okay. It's a round of Judge Panola. Now it says Frank. So when she handed this to me and I took a look at it, I went, oh my God. This is the person that my mother talked about, because I did remember his first name. And I said, Judge Panola. Now her mother, which is in her 70s, turned the corner and said, I remember Judge Panola. At that point, I had a shiver, a chill down my spine. It made me think of my mother was in the coin shop when she said, Judge Panola. And so there it is, a round. Now you might say, what the heck is this doing there? We never heard of this guy. Private Treasury, was he a stacker? I don't know. But let's turn it around, and I'll tell you about my second shiver. Now, 80th birthday, 1973, January 27th. Now, I looked at that for a second, and his initials are engraved there very nicely. It's Sterling, by the way. And I realized it's the date, not the year, but the date of my parents' anniversary. So, very strange coincidence. You be the judge. Was someone talking from me from somewhere? I don't know. It's a little blurry now. But yeah, I was thrilled. This was better than getting a super toned high grade Morgan dollar to me. Yes, $8. And then I saw her since then, and she said, I felt bad I charged you anything for that. I said, no, no. I said, I'll be talking about this pickup for a while. So I had to share it on this Easter. Yes, and this, I don't know if you're going to show it justice. You could like see little hairs on them and stuff, shadowing. Look at that. This was well done. So I wonder if Judge Panola was some sort of stacker, and who turned it into her. She did not know. So, like, could it have been a relative? Who knows? I'm sure they didn't make thousands of these, although someone went to great lengths to get this little anniversary happy birthday done for the judge. So, after that, I had to look him up for real, and it's Reeded Edge. And, yes, I did find some interesting. I never thought I'd be looking this gentleman up on the computer, but I did. A World War I veteran, and was a lawyer. I forget, it was Cornell, I believe he graduated from. And he was a bankster that I bet liked silver. Was a lawyer for some banks up past Scranton Way and what have you, and became a judge. Now, what kind of judge was Judge Panola? Well, I looked it up. 1960, became a judge in the Orphans Court. So yes, truly a judge. My mother wasn't like, what could I say? I don't want to say the word lying, but she wasn't like throwing the bull about that. So there it is. Now I can put a face to the name, and I had to share this with everyone. So there is my last pickup at the LCS, and I've actually had some more pickups, but I'll save them for another time. So there it is, the one and only Judge Panola. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to put the judge back in his old-time wrapping here. And yes, I call these the Jesus candles. Dollar Tree, one of the best buys you can get at the Dollar Tree. I don't want to sound sacrilegious, but it is Jesus, and that's Mary. And they burn for a long time. I've had Mary out several days now. They don't smell, but that's okay. Some people don't like the smell of candles, although I do. But they do burn. I would say it's down to Mary's hand somewhere there, that candle, and I probably have had burned it for 8 to 10 hours already. So these burn a long time. I want to wish everyone out there, I hope you enjoyed the story. I just found it unusual, all the coincidences of Judge Panola. Yeah, we're giving several away as little gifts for our visitors tomorrow. Well, it'll be today by the time you see this. The Jesus candles, $1. The best buy at the Dollar Tree, maybe. So that's it. Happy Easter to everyone. Take care. Be good. Keep stacking. Say a prayer once in a while. That's not going to hurt either. Hand model.
Happy Easter, everybody.
So long.